Hey guys, welcome back to Foundations Friday. This week I'm showing you how I mold my prosthetic sculpt. The key to getting a good cast of your prosthetic is creating a cutting edge in the mold. To do this, I use a clay extruder with the triangle plate to make a long triangular rope. Place the longest side of the triangle against the life cast and leave about a 1/4 inch gap between your sculpt and the cutting edge. This gap will ensure thin edges. Then I fill in the rest of the life cast, apart from the keyholes, with a layer of clay that matches the height of the cutting edge. This will leave a gap in the mold that allows excess casting material to flow out of the mold, and the gap is also how you'll pop the mold open later. I use a wet cosmetic sponge to smooth out the clay. You want the surface of the clay to be as smooth as possible. I use a needle tool to clean out the keyholes. The purpose of these keys is to ensure the mold and life cast are put together in the correct position every time. You're going to need to release any exposed ultracal so the mold doesn't lock onto the life cast. To do this, apply a layer of petroleum jelly to all the surfaces. It doesn't need to be a very thick layer, just a thorough coat. Once it's all prepped, you need to add some form of way to contain the stone. I usually use poster board for this. As far as the mold goes, first is the splash coats. That's 2 layers of melted ice cream consistency ultracal stippled onto your life cast and sculpt. Stippling the stone pops any air bubbles and helps the stone get in every nook and cranny. Pay extra attention to the keys and any deep areas in your sculpt like nostrils. Once the splash coats are slightly set up, it's time for the burlap layers. This is anywhere from 2 to 8 layers of ultracal soaked burlap layered into the mold. This is the strengthening layer. These make sure that even if the mold cracks, it won't break because it has these layers holding it together. And make sure to press the burlap down so there's no air pockets between the splash coat and the burlap because those will crumble when you open the mold. Last is the finishing coat or peanut butter coat, which is the consistency of peanut butter. This layer makes the mold pretty and locks the burlap in. When working the layer, make sure you have a flat spot in the center so the mold will sit nicely without tipping when you cast your prosthetic. When the mold is mostly set up, you can take off your wall and smooth out the edges a bit. Before popping your mold, you'll want to let it completely harden. I usually let mine sit overnight, but that's not necessary. When it's ready to open, place a flathead screwdriver into the layer of clay between your life cast and mold and move it downward. This will break the suction and you can open your mold and clean out the clay. Thank you so much for watching this week's Foundations Friday. As always, all of my social media links will be listed in the description if you'd like to check out more of my work. If there's something you'd like to see for a Tutorial Tuesday, Foundations Friday, or if you have any general questions, comments, or concerns, be sure to let me know in the comments. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you next time. Bye, guys.